through 75 counties and hundreds of investigations, from the most violent crimes to petty infractions. This is Arkansas Crime Watch with Kevin Kelly.
A deadly week throughout central Arkansas. At least 7 people are dead, all of them shot, including a young boy. Good evening and thanks for watching Arkansas Crime Watch on Fox16.com. I'm Kevin Kelly. I'll have more on the shootings in just a moment. But first, a look back at what has been a long, exhausting, dangerous, and deadly week. All across the nation and right here in Arkansas, protesters hit the streets demanding justice and for police violence against black citizens to end. Most of the protests peaceful, but there was violence, destruction, and several arrests. The outcry and outrage erupting following the tragic death of George Floyd on May 25th. He died while in police custody after a Minneapolis police officer pressed his knee to his neck for almost 9 minutes. 3 other officers were also on the scene at the time of his death. All 4 of those officers have now been charged. Derek Chauvin, who pressed his knee into Floyd's neck, was previously charged with 3rd-degree murder and 2nd-degree manslaughter, but that changed Wednesday. He's now facing a more serious charge of 2nd-degree murder. As for the other 3 officers, they were initially not charged, but that too changed this week. Each one is now charged with aiding and abetting 2nd-degree murder and aiding and abetting 2nd-degree manslaughter. Bail for each officer has been set at $1 million. As for the protests here in Arkansas, they started last Saturday, and with each passing day, they got bigger and the message louder. Unfortunately, so did the violence. Law enforcement arresting nearly 100 people on various charges throughout the week. Our Rochelle Turner capturing some of the events earlier this week.
I'm good. I love y'all.
We love you too.
Clap it up one more time.
Hundreds of protesters gathered at the Arkansas State Capitol on Monday.
Arkansas, pretty place to be.
Some holding signs like this, while others used their voice to express their frustration over the death of George Floyd and police brutality across the nation.
We gotta all walk away better people tonight. We all gotta all walk away knowing that we're on the elevator, y'all, in history. That's going all the way to the top.
We spotted Little Rock Police Chief Keith Humphreys and Mayor Frank Scott Jr. at the peaceful protests around 7:30. On Monday, Mayor Frank Scott Jr. put a curfew in place that started at 10 p.m.
We want to respect the fact that the Little Rock Police has protected us all weekend long.
Right before 10 p.m., Mayor Frank Scott Jr. locked hands with protesters and marched down Capitol Avenue.
Love and peace. Peace and love.
When the curfew began and people should have been going home, the peaceful protest turned violent. And people started throwing things. Our cameras were rolling as Mayor Frank Scott Jr. left the scene.
He's getting in the car.
Protesters ran in different directions as fireworks, water balloons, and rocks were thrown at large crowds. As chaos erupted, several businesses downtown had damage. This is the Bank OZK on West Capitol Avenue. The front door shattered and had glass everywhere. We even spotted several messages like this spray painted on buildings. Things continued to get worse. Protesters returned to the state capitol, and the Arkansas National Guard and state police deployed tear gas. Then a fire was set at the Arkansas Pharmacists Association, a block from the state capitol. Most of the crowd left, but some refused to leave and continued to express how they felt.
As protesters were making their voices heard, other crimes were unfolding all across the state. As I mentioned earlier, at least 7 people were shot and killed. Jacksonville police are investigating a homicide that happened Thursday morning at the Chapel Ridge apartment complex. Police were called to the area on Stanfill Road at around 3 in the morning. When they arrived, they found 36-year-old Zanis Robinson shot to death. At this point, no suspect information has been released. 2 men killed in a shooting in Russellville have now been identified. Police found the bodies of Adam Stogner and Christopher Bracking at a home on East Main Street Wednesday morning. Officers say Backlund once shot Stogner and another woman, then shot himself. The woman who was injured is expected to recover. Little Rock police are still investigating a shooting from Tuesday night in the Heights that left one person dead, another injured. Both men were shot in a car near Cleveland Street and Cantrell Road. According to Little Rock police, 19-year-old Nicholas Jones was found in the driver's seat of the car and later died. The second victim, identified as Deshaun Allen, was found walking just north of the area with a gunshot wound to the leg. Neighbors in the area shocked by what happened.
All of a sudden there were like 6 police cars out here with all the blue lights going. So you knew something bad had happened.
Police tell us Allen is in serious condition. They currently do not have a suspect in this shooting. Little Rock police also investigating a homicide that occurred on the same night. According to a post on Twitter, police were called to the Napa Valley Apartments at around 11:30 Tuesday evening. Police found the body of 23-year-old Keyshawn Simpson with gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. No suspect has been identified. State police are investigating the death of an Alexander police officer that happened Wednesday night at a home on Evergreen. Little is being released about the shooting itself, but what we do know is that another Alexander police officer at the scene was questioned by authorities and that it may have been accidental. Stephanie Sharp looking further into the investigation.
So it's weighing very heavy with the department right now.
A small police department facing a big tragedy.
It's rough. I'm very close with both of the officers that were involved. Like I said, we're all family here, so it's like losing a blood family member. It's not easy.
According to state police, Wednesday evening, they were called to this home on Evergreen in Alexander. There they found Alexander police officer Scott Hutton shot. Lying on the ground outside the home, 2 people were at the property at the time. One of those, another Alexander police officer.
At first it was calm. It was, we heard a gunshot. We didn't really know what was going on, Sometimes you just hear gunshots or real loud noises.
A neighbor who didn't want to show their face or use their name described the scene.
So, there's cops, ambulances, fire trucks lined up and down the road.
State police investigators are looking into the case, determining if any criminal charges should be filed or if the shooting was accidental. Nonetheless, the department says this is a heartbreaking time.
We're all friends outside of work. We're pretty much family. I mean, we hang out with each other. We know each other's kids, family members. We're all very close-knit here.
State police is now handling the investigation. As for the officer, he's now on paid administrative leave. Tonight's Mug of the Week goes to this woman. 50-year-old Tracy Watson was booked into the Garland County Jail on June 4th for failure to appear in forgery, first degree, 7 times. Her bond set at $25,500. As we leave you, here's a look at Arkansas's Most Wanted. We want to remind you all of the suspects you've seen tonight are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Remember, if you have any information on any of these cases we talked about, you're asked to call your local police department. Thanks for watching Arkansas Crime Watch. I'm Kevin Kelly. Be smart, be safe, and if you see something, say something. I'll see you tomorrow night on Fox 16 News at 5:30 and 9.